call on Sri Lanka. His Excellency, Mr. Ambassador Azeez, the permanent representative of Sri Lanka to the UN offices and the other international organizations here in Geneva. Mr. Ambassador, you have the floor.
At the outset, let me express to you, co-chairs, our sincere appreciation for the effective joint stewardship of the Global Forum. It is satisfying to note that over the last 4 years, relentless efforts have been taken at national and global levels to ensure that we move away from the practice of managing disasters to managing disaster risk reduction. The vibrant discourse today emphasizes the importance of benefits of inclusivity and sustainability going beyond just financial dividends. It provides us with a platform to share experiences, understand challenges in fully integrating the Sendai framework to our national policies and programs, and to address it in the overall context of SDGs, the UN Urban Agenda, and the Paris Climate Change Agreement. Co-chairs, in understanding resilient dividends, we may need to look beyond short-term monetary gains into long-term socio-economic environmental benefits. In Sri Lanka, national strategies for disaster risk reduction have been formulated for the period of 2019 to 2030, and the national policy on disaster risk management has been revised, thus enabling risk-informed implementation and monitoring of the 2030 Sustainable Development Agenda and the Paris Agreement on climate change. The Disaster Management Center is working with the National Planning Department on establishing online damage and loss reporting system covering 13 major sectors. An insurance scheme against natural disasters for all houses has been introduced, covering houses as well as small and medium scale enterprises through National Insurance Trust Fund. The National Building Research Organization and Institute of Construction Training and Development are working together to introduce national building codes for disaster resilient construction. A project has been initiated to introduce guidelines for 10 major sectors to mainstream disaster risk reduction and development sectors. National and local development programs on mainstreaming DRR into the education sector have been initiated with the support of the Ministry of Education, National Universities. Ministry of Education. National universities are already conducting MSc programs and postgraduate diploma programs in disaster risk management. A multi-hazard risk index has been completed by the government. A stakeholder approach that is essential for the success of SDGs is being actively encouraged and pursued. Excellencies, Sri Lanka recognizes the importance of risk-sensitive economic planning and coherence building between climate and DRR policies to better achieve SDGs. Towards this end, we are currently working on an online damage and loss assessment system for all sectors. The government of Sri Lanka is in the process of implementing a climate-resilient integrated water management project. This project is aimed to strengthen the resilience of vulnerable smallholder farmers in the dry zone of Sri Lanka, particularly women. Ensuring sustainable urban life, economic and spiritual well-being, and decent living in harmony with nature remains a foremost national priority. In line with this priority, Megapolis and Western Development Ministry, for instance, implements a number of targeted sustainable infrastructure development projects. The Climate Resilience Improvement Project is mainly focused on contributing towards building a more climatic resilient economy. Project support to implement urgent climate mitigation investments is important. An important priority is to optimize coordination throughout the entire disaster management cycle and to sharpen the focus on disaster emergency response stage. A great emphasis on planning of a long-term recovery process would no doubt help enhance community and stakeholder resilience. Increased efforts are currently underway to improve knowledge management, information sharing, and establishing coordination and coherence among the relevant institutions and programs. Sharing technology and assuring funding support through partnerships as part of strengthened international cooperation will go a long way in effectively addressing climate-induced losses and damages. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and co-chairs, other than the natural disasters, in conclusion I'm saying, other than the natural disasters, Sri Lanka has also faced cycles of complex man-made emergencies in the past decades. Last month, Easter Sunday terrorist attack shocked and devastated my country, making us reorient our immediate priorities drastically. Our national efforts are now focused on how best and how quickly we could rise up again. In the coming weeks and months, we would bounce back with the renewed vigor and emerge even stronger, demonstrating our collective resolve and resilience. I thank you.
Thank you very much.